Hello and welcome to part 5, Talking Socks. This is the heel turn. Now, I know this is the step where lots of people perhaps go wrong, and it's just the same as any other knitting. It's one stitch at a time, one row at a time, and don't rush. I'm going to do the whole of the heel turn for you. Don't really have to watch it all, but just because I think it helps to see all the different rows. And I don't know at what point in my sock knitting that started to make sense, but the stitches in the heel turn do start to make sense of what you do wear. So row 1, it says knit 15, so I'm still on my double point needles, not for much longer. Just need to make sure your sleeves are out of the way, that's one of my problems. Right, knit 15 it says. I'm just going to count that I have got 15 because the counting is really important for the heel turn, otherwise it won't work. 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 15. Okay, so I've knit 15. It says slip 1. And I've slipped that knitwise as if I was going to knit. I'll just show you again. So slip goes in from the left hand side. So slip, knit 1, and then psso is pass the slip stitch over. So I put my left hand needle under the stitch that I just slipped onto my right hand needle and slip it over the one that I've just knitted. Then I knit 1. Okay, then you turn. Really important to turn. It's the heel turn, so at the end of every row make sure you turn. Okay, so row 2, slip 1 purl, so that goes from the right hand side, so slip it purlwise, purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, purl 2 together. So the needle goes through 2 stitches purlwise. It might be a little bit tight as mine is. You might have to just give it a bit of a wriggle. It's not a bad thing for it to be tight at the corner of your heel. Right, so purl 2 together, and then it says purl 1. And then because it's the heel turn, we turn at the end of our row. Okay, so this is a knit row this time. So slip 1 purlwise, then it says knit to the first stitch before the gap. Okay, so let's see if we can spot where the gap is as we knit. I'll count as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got another stitch, and then there's a gap from where we decreased in the row before. So my pattern says knit to the first stitch before the gap, so that's the first stitch before my gap. Okay, then I slip that stitch, I knit the next stitch, and then I pass that slip stitch over the one that I just knit. psso again. Then knit 1, turn. Row 4, slip 1 purlwise, purl to the first stitch before the gap. Let's see if we can find the gap. I'll count as we go, see if we can work out a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's my gap, look, 7, so I then purl 2 together, 1, 2, purl 1 more and turn. So you're starting to see a pattern yet with the numbers. Let's see how many it is this time till we count till we get to the gap. So we're repeating rows 3 and 4. So I slip my first stitch purlwise and then I knit to before that gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Haven't spotted anything yet. Okay, so I slip my stitch, knit the next stitch, pass the slip stitch over, knit 1 more and turn. So we're on a row 4, so we slip purlwise and we're purling. So we slip 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This time we've got the pattern. Purl 2 together, purl and turn. Slip your first stitch, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 1 stitch before. So we slip first one, knit the next one, pass the slip stitch over, knit and turn. We spotted the pattern. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be 11 to the gap this time. Okay, so slip my first stitch, purl. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Magic. Purl 2 together. Purl 1 and turn. Nearly there. Okay, so on a row 3, let's just check. It's a slip purlwise and then it's knit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12. Okay, so then we slip, knit, pass that slip stitch over, knit, and turn. Right, I've got all my stitches on 1 needle, okay? All on 1 needle. Now, that is the end of of your heel turn. And that is really quite neat. Now the pattern says you do it until all the heel stitches have been worked, ending with a wrong size row. Okay, so we're going to, although all my stitches are on one needle, I'm going to do another row. Okay, otherwise we'll end up with a funny little hole in our sock. Okay, so we slip the first one, purl across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know what number I'm going for, don't you? 6, 7. Okay, purl those two together. Purl the last one. Okay, so it doesn't look much different to how it looked before. They're still all on one needle, but it's important that you finish on that last row so that when you're ready to do the next stage, which is picking up the stitches, you're starting on a knit row because we're going to be knitting round. Okay, so that's part 5 of your sock done.